Welcome to today's transformation dive here on Earn Flow Zone, where we cut through the noise and get real about building wealth, not just chasing it. Ever feel like you're playing financial whack-a-mole? One day, you're trying to crush debt. The next, you're reading about crypto. The day after, you feel guilty for not automating savings. And somewhere in between, you were supposed to start tracking every single expense? Yeah. You're not alone. Most people, trying to get ahead with money, feel like they're starring in their own chaotic financial circus, juggling flaming torches while riding a unicycle backwards. It's exhausting, frankly, and it's the exact opposite of what actually builds financial freedom. This isn't about finding a magic bullet. It's about understanding the fundamental forces at play. We're talking about shifting from frantic activity to focused power. Before we unlock that, if you're into real, actionable money and mindset content that helps you build, not just busy yourself, hit like and subscribe. It helps way more than you think and keeps us creating these deep dives for you. Also, let me know in the comments. Drop a comment with where you're watching from, or your biggest money habit win over the last year. Love hearing from you. Let's dive in and change the way you think about success. Section 1. Title: Feeling Scattered? Your real problem. You know that feeling, right? The one you get just before you tap open your banking app. Maybe it's a slight flinch because you know you've been avoiding it. Or maybe you're constantly checking the numbers, refreshing the screen like it's a social media feed, but the balance barely budges. You are trying. Let's be fair. You're probably trying really hard. You've likely read articles, listened to podcasts, maybe even bravely attempted a budget app that you used for maybe 3 days. You intellectually grasp that you should be saving, paying off debt aggressively, investing for the future, finding ways to increase your income, meticulously tracking every latte purchase, and maybe even launching a killer side hustle that replaces your day job by next Tuesday. It genuinely feels like a frantic, exhausting scramble to do 10 critically important things at once. And what's the result? Overwhelm washing over you like a financial tsunami, guilt for not being further along, and frustratingly, agonizingly slow progress. You're incredibly busy with your money, spending hours thinking, planning, or just worrying about it, but you don't feel like you're actually building anything significant, not at the pace you crave. Here's the trap. You think the secret ingredient you're missing is finding the absolute perfect budgeting app that tracks your crumbs. The hidden gem investment strategy only insiders know about, or the ultimate, obscure budget hack you saw on TikTok. You genuinely believe that financial success is some kind of high-stakes circus act, requiring you to keep a dozen financial balls spinning flawlessly in the air simultaneously. And if you drop just one, like forgetting to log a grocery receipt or missing a tiny payment, you're failing spectacularly. You look at people who seem financially successful, and you project onto them this image of someone who is flawlessly executing intricate, multifaceted financial plans on all fronts, all the time. You imagine they have their investments perfectly allocated, their spending tracked to the penny, debt vanishing instantly, and income streams flowing like multiple rivers, all managed with robotic precision. Here's the myth bust, and it's a big one. This belief that you need to do absolutely everything and do it perfectly from day one is precisely what's holding you back. It's a paralyzing idea. It makes you feel inadequate, like you're already losing, before you even make a meaningful move. And guess what? It is the primary root cause of why you feel so scattered and stuck right now. Think about it. You're diffusing your most powerful, most limited resources. your focused attention and finite energy across a dozen different fronts. Instead of concentrating that power, you're spreading it thin, like trying to heat an entire mansion with a single birthday candle. The real barrier isn't complexity or a lack of effort. You're clearly putting in effort. It's a fundamental lack of directed financial power. You're trying to gently push 10 different doors open a tiny crack, instead of applying all your force to bust through one significant barrier. This scattered, unfocused approach isn't just ineffective, it's financially exhausting, leading to burnout and rarely yielding the breakthrough results you crave. It's the financial equivalent of trying to water an entire vast field with a spray bottle. Lots of frantic effort, minimal actual impact on growth. And let's be honest, the world around us is almost designed to encourage this diffusion. Constant ads screaming at you about new products or investment fads. Conflicting financial advice pulling you in different directions. The subtle social pressure to keep up appearances, which drains your resources. It all pulls your financial energy in a million different directions simultaneously. Recognize this feeling of being overwhelmed and pulled thin. It's not some personal failing unique to you. It's a painfully common symptom of believing the insidious do everything at once myth. Recognizing this feeling, understanding why you feel scattered, is the absolute first, most crucial step to changing everything. Ask yourself, does this feeling of being pulled in too many financial directions resonate with you right now? Just acknowledging it is powerful. Okay, so you want to build wealth, right? You want to feel in control, see progress, maybe even hit some big goals faster. But often, the harder people try to do everything at once financially, the slower they seem to move. Why? Because they're acting like a financial floodlight. Think about it. A floodlight scatters light energy over a huge area. It illuminates, sure, but the light itself is weak, diffuse. A laser? All that same energy, maybe even less, concentrated onto a single, tiny point. And what does that laser do? It cuts through steel. Your financial energy, your money, your time, your precious mental bandwidth works exactly the same way. When you scatter it across 10 different goals, a little here for savings, a little there for debt, maybe dabbling vaguely in a side hustle idea, trying to spend less this week, but not really tracking anything, you become a financial floodlight. Lots of activity, lots of trying, but the power is weak. You end up feeling busy, but like you're just constantly spinning 10 small plates, hoping none crash, instead of stacking one solid tower. It's like being at the gym and hopping between 10 machines doing 3 reps on each. Lots of sweat, no real muscle gain on any one thing. The absolute core principle we're diving into today, the secret weapon of people who actually build wealth efficiently, is this. Financial acceleration comes from concentrating your resources, your money, your time, your mental energy, on one single, high-impact financial goal at a time. This challenges the common myth that multitasking your money accelerates progress. The surprising truth? Trying to aggressively pay down debt, while aggressively saving for a down payment, while aggressively building an emergency fund, while building an investment portfolio, while starting a demanding side hustle simultaneously, almost always leads to dilution and slow progress on all fronts. This isn't about ignoring everything else forever, or about deprivation. It's about acknowledging you have finite energy and choosing where to apply your laser power for maximum momentum right now. When you focus that energy, maybe every spare dollar, every spare hour of financial learning, every ounce of mental discipline on one thing, like annihilating a specific high-interest debt or building that absolutely critical emergency fund first. Guess what happens? You make tangible progress, fast. That progress isn't just numbers. It's momentum. It's seeing the balance drop rapidly. It's watching the savings grow faster than you thought possible. That quick win builds confidence, which fuels more action. This focused approach creates tangible results quickly, which builds confidence and makes you feel powerful, not overwhelmed. It transforms that feeling of being overwhelmed and kinda trying into feeling powerful and actively achieving. This is strategic allocation. It's consciously deciding, okay, this is where I need a breakthrough first. You direct your laser power there until is it eliminating your highest interest debt? Building a solid $1,000 emergency fund? Saving the first critical chunk for a larger goal? Pinpoint it. Ask yourself, what is the one thing I should apply my laser focus to right now? Identifying that one thing is the first step to unleashing your financial laser. It's where true power lies. Okay, so we've talked about how incredible focus is, how it's the absolute rocket fuel for achieving your financial goals and making real progress. But here's the million-dollar question, right? If focus is that powerful, why don't we just do it? Why is staying locked onto one financial goal, one growth path, seemingly impossible for most people in the modern world? The core issue, the hard truth, is that your brain is almost hardwired against sustained, singular focus, especially in the constant information deluge we live in. It's built for novelty and urgency. Think about it. Historically, noticing something new, novelty, could mean finding food, and reacting quickly to something alarming, urgency, could save you from danger. Great instincts for surviving the savannah, terrible instincts for patiently building a diverse investment portfolio over decades, or chipping away at debt one payment at a time. Now, instead of a rustle in the bushes signaling danger, your urgency triggers are social media notifications, emails screaming limited time offer, or urgent-sounding texts. You're scrolling through feeds that constantly show you what other people are doing, their highlight reels, their quick wins, their shiny new projects. This instantly triggers comparison and that powerful, insidious feeling, FOMO, the fear of missing out. You see an article about a must-do investment strategy, just as you were getting serious about budgeting. A friend mentions a seemingly easy way to make cash on the side, and suddenly your careful plan to build an emergency fund feels like you're missing out on potential growth. This constant external stimulation pulls your energy, your precious limited focus, away from your chosen path. You might start dedicating energy to debt repayment, feeling motivated, and then, bam, an ad for an online course promises quick returns through affiliate marketing. You think, maybe I should do that instead to earn more money faster to pay off the debt. Or you decide to focus on building that emergency fund, but then hear stories of people making quick gains in the stock market, and you feel like you're watching a party from the outside. This constant switching, bouncing from debt focus to affiliate marketing, from emergency fund to stock market speculation, is the absolute destroyer of momentum. You become incredibly busy, but ineffective. You are the financial equivalent of that frantic squirrel burying nuts in 100 different spots. Lots of activity, lots of starting, but rarely finishing. You become a master of the setup, the initial enthusiasm, but rarely get to the payoff that comes from consistent effort over time. This scattered state isn't laziness. Far from it. You're often working incredibly hard, expending huge amounts of mental energy. The problem is a lack of a guiding principle for resource allocation. You're reacting to every stimulus that screams for your attention instead of proactively directing your energy towards a chosen, deliberate plan. Here's the surprising fact, the real myth that needs busting. Financial success, your ability to say no to the shiny new thing and yes to your consistent effort on one path, is a superpower you already possess. You just need to consciously choose to wield it. So here's a practical action prompt for you this week. For the next 7 days, consciously pay attention whenever you feel that urge to switch focus. To chase a new financial idea, click on a must-do sale notification or compare your progress to someone else's highlight reel. Pause for just a moment. Ask yourself, is this new thing truly aligned with my current chosen focus? Or is it just another distraction pulling me away? Just noticing the urge and questioning its validity is the first crucial step to reclaiming and wielding your focus superpower. You're trying to get ahead financially, right? You're doing all the things you think you should be doing. You're making minimum payments on all your debts, maybe even throwing an extra $1 or $2 at each. You're squirreling away a tiny bit into savings whenever you remember. You're vaguely attempting to spend less, telling yourself things like, I should probably cook more. You might even have excitedly started a side hustle, poured a little energy into it for a few weeks only to have it fizzle out because, well, life happens. And you were juggling 5 other financial plates. What's the common thread here? Diffusion. You're taking your limited energy, your limited extra cash, and scattering it like birdseed. And what kind of results do you get from scattered birdseed? Not much. Noticeably. That debt balance shrinks by agonizingly slow increments. The savings account balance looks like you're preparing for a small impulse purchase, not financial freedom. The spending cuts lasted about as long as your New Year's resolutions. And that side hustle? A graveyard of good intentions. This isn't just slow progress. It's the cost of diffusing your financial power. You never experience that incredible rush, that surge of motivation from completely wiping out a debt. You don't get the psychological high of seeing your savings fund hit a meaningful milestone quickly, enough for an emergency or even that down payment goal. You don't build deep competence or traction in a single income stream because your energy is pulled in too many directions. It's like trying to build muscle by doing 1 rep on 10 different machines instead of 10 reps on one machine. You feel busy, sure, but you're not actually building anything substantial. Let's use the example you might be living. Imagine you somehow scrape together an extra $100 this month. What do? The diffused approach says, okay, $20 towards credit card A, $20 towards credit card B, $20 into savings, $20 into that new brokerage account you opened, and hey, you saved $80 total. So $20 for a little treat because you earned it. Feels responsible, right? You're touching all the bases. But look at the impact in each area. Credit card A barely budges. Credit card B laughs at you. Your savings balance looks pitiful. The brokerage account holds less than the cost of most transaction fees. And that $20 treat completely cancels out the psychological benefit you might have gotten from seeing progress somewhere. none of those areas feel the impact. It's like throwing a single pebble into 5 different ponds. None of them make a significant splash. Now, take that same $100 and throw the entire amount at credit card A. Boom! That balance drops by $100, plus whatever minimum payment you made. You see a real number change. You feel a sense of accomplishment. Okay, that works. You're building momentum. That's not just financial progress. That's a psychological win that fuels future action. Here's the surprising insight: the real hidden cost you're paying. Small amounts of focused energy create disproportionately larger results than small amounts of scattered energy. Think of it like a laser beam versus a floodlight. The laser, with concentrated energy, can cut through steel. The floodlight, spreading the same energy wide, just illuminates a large area dimly. The cost of diffusion isn't just slow financial progress. It's the profound psychological cost of feeling ineffective, feeling like you're trying hard but getting nowhere, which makes you far more likely to give up entirely. You fall into the trap of mistaking activity for actual progress. You're incredibly busy, yes, but busy doing things that aren't actually moving the needle towards a specific, meaningful outcome. You are, in essence, paying the high cost of kinda trying across the board instead of reaping the rewards of intense, focused action on one critical area. Ask yourself, where are you currently diffusing your power? What's the one financial area that would give you the most momentum or psychological win if you directed all your available extra energy and funds there for the next month? Here's the expanded script section based on your outline. All right, now let's take this powerful principle of focus and really zero in on something we all care about: amplifying your income. This is where the rubber meets the road for many people trying to climb the financial ladder. You see, the default strategy for increasing income often looks less like a targeted laser and more like, well, a scattergun blast. People try to hit everything at once, applying for every job posting under the sun, juggling 3 completely different side hustles like poorly tossed frisbees, and learning a little bit about 5 different in-demand skills. Just enough to be dangerous, but not enough to be truly valuable. What's the typical outcome? Maybe, just maybe, they eventually land a slightly better paying job through sheer volume of applications. But those side hustles, they fizzle out because none got the consistent, and they remain frustratingly shallow, not deep enough to command a premium rate or make you indispensable. Here's where the focused approach completely changes the game. And frankly, it's one of the most surprising habit shifts that unlocks significant income growth. Instead of trying to do a little of everything, you identify one high-potential way to increase your income right now and pour your energy there. Think about it. This might mean intensely focusing on acquiring the specific skills or certifications needed for a single, or it could mean dedicating yourself to becoming genuinely excellent at one specific valuable skill, like advanced data analysis, expert copywriting, or sophisticated digital marketing. Or perhaps it's choosing one promising side hustle. Maybe that could be freelance writing, building a specific e-commerce niche, or developing a specialized consulting service, and dedicating significant, consistent time and energy to making that one thing work, treating it like a real business from day one until it reliably generates income. Consider the freelance writing example from earlier. The unfocused person might dabble in writing, try dropshipping for a month, take paid surveys for pocket change, and attempt some affiliate marketing on the side. The focused person says, Freelance writing it is. They then invest their limited time and energy not just in writing, but in learning advanced techniques, figuring out how to find and pitch high-paying clients, perfecting their workflow, and treating it with the seriousness of a full-time job. Even if it's only a few hours a night. This isn't about ignoring all other opportunities forever. It's about prioritizing depth over breadth in the initial growth phase. The core insight here, the fundamental principle that acts as your income amplifier, is this: becoming truly excellent at one thing often unlocks significantly more earning potential and creates far greater value than being merely mediocre at many things. Think about the marketplace like a specialized economy. Your value isn't just in having skills. It's often proportional to the depth of your expertise in a specific needed area. Being a generalist might get you entry-level roles, but being a recognized expert, the go-to person for a particular problem or service, allows you to command premium rates and build a reputation that attracts opportunities. Focusing your energy on mastering one income stream or skill set makes you more valuable, faster than spreading yourself thin. You're building a genuine financial asset, whether that's your highly skilled time or a functioning micro-business, through concentrated, deliberate effort. This targeted focus also sharpens your ability to identify and pursue only the right opportunities within that chosen area, automatically filtering out the endless parade of shiny distractions that would otherwise pull you off course. So let's make this actionable right now. Ask yourself, what is the single most promising, high-potential way you could increase your income in the next 6 to 12 months if you gave it your focused energy? Is it mastering that specific software for a promotion? Is it becoming the absolute best in your company at one core function? Is it committing to making one chosen side hustle consistently profitable? Identify that one path. Now, try this for a week. Actively track every hour you spend on income-generating or skill-building activities. Are those hours scattered across multiple things? Or are the majority of them focused on that single high-potential path you just identified? This one habit, tracking your focus, can reveal exactly why your income might be plateauing despite your efforts. All right, we've talked about finding your single financial focus, that one big thing you're aiming for right now. But simply having a focus isn't enough. The real power comes when you start applying that focus across your financial life. And perhaps nowhere is this more impactful and challenging than in controlling your spending. Many people tackle spending like they're swatting at flies, a little here, a little there, vaguely trying to reduce everything. It's exhausting, often ineffective, and feels like constant deprivation. Here's the surprising truth. Focused spending isn't about cutting out everything. It's about aligning your spending decisions with your one chosen financial focus. Every potential expense, every swipe of the card, every online cart checkout is filtered through the lens of your primary goal. Think of your focus as a high-powered magnet, pulling your money towards it, while deflecting anything that isn't aligned. It's a shift from random cuts to strategic redirection. Let's make this concrete. If your single burning focus is crushing that high-interest debt, you don't ask, "Can I afford this?" Instead, you ask, "Does this purchase help me pay off debt faster or slow me down?" That daily $5 latte might seem small, but when you filter it through the lens of debt freedom, you see it clearly slowing you down. Packing lunch? That frees up cash flow, directly helping you accelerate debt payoff. It's not deprivation, it's prioritizing momentum towards freedom. Or maybe your focus is building a robust emergency fund. Your filter becomes, does this purchase prevent me from hitting my savings target this month? That spontaneous weekend getaway, while fun, directly delays you from reaching that crucial safety net amount. Again, it's not about guilt over wanting fun. It's about a conscious choice to direct your money towards your most important current goal. This makes saying no significantly easier because you have a powerful yes you're saying too. Trying to broadly cut spending on discretionary items is vague and demotivating. But if your focus is saving $5,000 for a down payment on something exciting in 6 months, suddenly that extra dinner out or that impulse gadget purchase directly competes with a tangible, motivating goal. The choice isn't between having fun now and having nothing. It's between immediate, fleeting gratification and building something significant and lasting. The biggest myth this busts is that controlling spending is purely about willpower and suffering. When your spending is guided by a clear focus, it becomes an act of building, not an act of sacrifice. You are choosing to spend your money on your future security, your freedom, your peace of mind, debt payoff, savings, investment, instead of just immediate consumption. This intentionality gives your spending purpose beyond mere buying and aligns it directly with your financial objective. This one habit changed everything for me. Before any non-essential purchase over a small threshold, $20, $50, whatever feels right for you, pause for 60 seconds and ask, how does this align with or detract from my current single financial focus? It forces you to apply that filter consciously. Try this for a week. Identify your current single financial focus. Then, track every dollar spent, even rough mental tracking works, and evaluate it against that focus. Was it aligned? Did it move you closer or further away? You might be surprised how much undirected spending is happening simply because there wasn't a clear filter in place. Applying focus to spending isn't about penny pinching. It's about purposeful investment in your own future, one conscious decision at a time. Okay, let's expand Section 7 into a detailed script segment based on your requirements. Section 7. Applying focus, crushing your debt. All right, let's talk about something heavy that many people carry: debt. It can feel like a constant shadow, weighing down your decisions, your peace of mind, and definitely your cash flow. You might feel stuck, like you're just treading water, trying to manage it all. And here's where a critical shift in strategy comes in. Something most people think they're doing right, but are actually sabotaging themselves. You see, the conventional wisdom often feels like this. Okay, I have 5 different debts: credit cards, a car loan, student loans, maybe medical bills. To be responsible, I should put a little extra on each one. You try to pay $50 extra on this one, $75 on that one, maybe $20 on the smallest one. It feels balanced, fair, like you're attacking on all fronts. But here's the surprising, slightly inconvenient truth. This scattered approach is incredibly inefficient. It's like trying to water an entire garden with a misting spray bottle instead of focusing a hose on one plant at a time. The progress on any single debt is so minimal, so slow, that you never get the psychological win of seeing one completely disappear. You just keep juggling, feeling like you're perpetually making minimum headway. You never feel that satisfying click of eliminating a debt account forever. The powerful core concept here is focused aggression. When it comes to debt, it's an emergency. It's actively costing you money every single day through interest. Passive management keeps you enslaved longer. Aggressive, focused elimination liberates you faster. The focused approach involves picking one debt, and only one initially, and throwing every single extra dollar you have at that debt, while maintaining only minimum payments on all the others. This is the foundation of methods like the debt snowball and the debt avalanche. The snowball method has you attack the smallest debt balance first, regardless of interest rate. Why? Because getting that quick win, wiping out an entire account, is a massive psychological boost. It builds momentum. The avalanche method, on the other hand, targets the debt with the highest interest rate first, regardless of balance. Mathematically, this saves you the most money on interest over time. Both methods leverage focus. They just prioritize different outcomes: behavioral motivation versus mathematical efficiency. Let's use that example. You have 3 debts: $1,000 at 20%, $5,000 at 10%, $10,000 at 5%. You find you have an extra $300 each month. The scattered approach might look like $100 extra on each. After a few months, you've barely chipped away at any principal. The focused approach: you choose either the 1K debt, snowball, or the 5K debt, avalanche. Since 10% is the highest rate in this specific example, and put the full $300 extra on only that one. If you chose the 1K debt with the snowball, adding $300 extra means that debt is gone in roughly 3 months, plus minimum payments. Poof! Now, here's the magic. You take the minimum payment you were making on that 1K debt, plus the $300 extra, and you roll it all into the next debt on your list. Suddenly, you're throwing $400 or $500 extra or more. $5,000 debt. You've created a debt-busting snowball effect. This strategy leverages a kind of financial compound interest in reverse. You gain speed and power as each debt falls. This one habit, shifting from scattered payments to focused attacks, changed everything for me in terms of tackling debt. It transforms a daunting, never-ending chore into a series of achievable missions. Ask yourself, what's stopping you from picking one debt to laser? That feeling is keeping you in debt longer and costing you more. The cause? Lack of focus. The effect? Slow progress, demotivation, and continued interest payments. The cause? Intense, directed focus. The effect? Rapid elimination, psychological wins, saved interest with avalanche, and crucially, freeing up significant cash flow that you can then direct towards your next financial goal: saving, investing, building wealth. Debt isn't just a financial burden, it's a psychological one. Eliminating it systematically, one by one, is how you regain control and finally step into the earn flow zone. Not just with more money, but with genuine freedom. When your focus shifts specifically to building assets, the deliberate acts of saving and investing, the principle of focus is just as, if not more, critical. This is where many well-intentioned people unintentionally sabotage their own progress. You might be trying to juggle building an emergency fund, saving aggressively for retirement, squirreling away cash for a future down payment, and maybe even dabbling in day trading or cryptocurrency on the side. It feels productive because you're doing stuff with your money, right? But honestly, it's a recipe for frustration and minimal progress. It's like trying to train for a marathon, write a novel, and learn fluent Mandarin all in the same month. Each requires deep, concentrated effort. The reason this scattering approach fails is simple cause and effect. Each of those financial goals requires different strategies, timelines, and risk tolerances. An emergency fund needs safety and accessibility. Retirement needs long-term growth and tax advantage. A down payment needs capital accumulation over a medium term. Day trading requires intense knowledge and high risk tolerance. When you scatter your limited savings and investment capital across all these fronts simultaneously, you prevent any single fund from reaching what I call critical mass. You're pouring drops into 5 different buckets instead of filling one bucket until it overflows and then moving to the next. None of the buckets ever get full quickly. A focused approach means ruthless prioritization. You decide on the one most important financial goal right now and laser focus on it. The classic example, and often the correct first step, is building your emergency fund. Every spare dollar that you aren't using for essential bills or debt repayment goes there. You ignore investment opportunities during this phase, unless your company offers a 401k match. That's free money. Always take the match. You don't worry about market fluctuations or crypto trends. Your mission is simple. Build that 3 to 6 months of essential expenses buffer. Once that emergency fund is solid, sitting there giving you peace of mind, you redirect all that saving power towards the next priority. Often, this is maximizing retirement accounts like your 401k or IRA. You channel the same intense saving energy into this new target, aiming to max them out or hit a specific high contribution target. After that, maybe the focus shifts to saving for a down payment, funding a taxable brokerage account for other goals, or tackling specific high-interest debt. Consider the example from the description. Trying to put $100 into an emergency fund, $100 into your 401k, and $100 into crypto each month. That's $300 spread thin. But if your sole financial focus for the next few months is building that $10,000 emergency fund, putting the full $300 there means you hit your target 3 times faster than if you were scattering it. This one habit changed everything for me, stopping the financial multitasking. The surprising insight here, the one that challenges common, busy money habits, is that building real wealth isn't about participating in every possible savings or investment vehicle simultaneously. It's about building a sequence of strong financial foundations by focusing intensely on completing or significantly funding each step before moving decisively to the next. This strategic sequencing builds resilience first, that emergency fund, then captures long-term growth effectively, retirement accounts, and provides incredible clarity on where your hard-earned money should go each month. You create compounding not just of money, but of financial security, confidence, and capability. Ask yourself, what is the one financial goal that deserves your laser focus right now? Try directing all your available savings power there for the next 30 days. See how quickly progress accelerates. Okay, so we've talked about the power of targeting one thing, but maybe right now you're thinking, okay, earn flow zone, this sounds less like focus and more like deprivation. You're used to the idea that managing money means cutting back everywhere, just a little bit. You feel like you have to save a little, and pay debt a little, and invest a little, all at the same time. Trying to pour intense energy into just one of those might feel incredibly restrictive, like you're giving up everything else. This is exactly where the critical mindset shift happens. Let's bust a major financial myth right here. Focus isn't about permanent deprivation across the board. Think of it less like dieting forever on lettuce and more like a temporary, intense training block for a specific goal. You wouldn't train for a marathon by doing a little bit of swimming, a little bit of weightlifting, and a little bit of running every day, spreading yourself thin. You'd focus intensely on running for a period, maybe neglecting other areas temporarily to build the specific stamina and strength you need for that event. Financial focus works the same way. It's about temporary, intense prioritization in one specific area to create such significant progress that it then enables you to tackle the next area with more resources, more momentum, and honestly, a huge psychological win. When you choose to intensely focus on debt payoff, you are absolutely not giving up on investing forever or saying by eliminating it faster through focused effort, you are creating a future where that money is no longer wasted, but freed up to be directed towards aggressive investing or building wealth later. It's about choosing instant freedom from financial drag over slow, incremental movement everywhere. Or maybe your focus is on building that crucial emergency fund. This might mean saying no to immediate discretionary spending. That new gadget, that weekend trip. Are you losing out? On the surface, maybe it feels that way. But you are trading short-term wants for undeniable long-term needs and crucial security. You are building a buffer that protects your entire financial future from unexpected setbacks, preventing you from derailing all your goals the moment life throws a curveball. It's not a loss, it's a strategic trade. You're buying peace of mind and stability. Here's the profound insight that changed everything for me. True financial freedom isn't about having unlimited money to spend on anything you want the moment you want it. That's often just chasing fleeting desires. True freedom is about having control over where your money goes and deliberately aligning it with your deepest values, your most important goals. Focusing gives you that control. It empowers you to say a powerful, unapologetic no to the non-essential, the low-priority spending, or the distractions, precisely because you have an even more powerful yes to something that truly matters to your financial future. Whether that's becoming debt-free, secure with an emergency fund, or rapidly building an investment portfolio. This intentionality transforms what feels like mere cutting back into actively directing your financial power. You transition from feeling controlled by your circumstances or impulsive desires to feeling completely in control of your money's mission. This makes the financial journey less like a painful slog of random cuts and more like a rewarding mission where every intentional action is a conscious, powerful step towards your primary, chosen goal. Ask yourself, what's stopping you from directing your financial power towards one primary goal right now? Is it the fear of deprivation, or simply a misunderstanding of what true, focused financial power looks like? You've probably felt it, that heavy, sinking feeling when you open your laptop, ready to tackle your finances or a new growth goal, and you're immediately hit with options. So many options. Which debt strategy should you use? The avalanche? The snowball? Or maybe something totally different you just read about? Which investment vehicle is truly the best right now? Stocks? Real estate? Crypto? A high-yield savings account? What about a side hustle? There are literally millions of ideas. Drop shipping, freelance writing, starting a podcast, selling crafts, driving for a rideshare app. Even just trying to figure out the best budgeting method feels like choosing between a dozen complex operating systems. And what happens after you research, you read articles, you watch videos, you think, and you think, and you think? Often, nothing. Absolutely nothing gets done. This isn't laziness. It's what we call analysis paralysis. Your brain is so busy evaluating all the potential paths, weighing pros and cons, trying to find the absolute optimal route, that it never actually takes the first step on any path. You're stuck in the starting blocks, mentally running 1,000 different races, but never physically moving. Why? Because choosing one path feels like a sacrifice. You fear you might be leaving money on the table, missing out on a better return, or making a critical mistake that will set you back years. It's the financial equivalent of endlessly scrolling through Netflix, trying to find the perfect movie, until it's too late to watch anything. We've all been there, right? Here's the powerful, maybe uncomfortable truth that can unlock serious progress. An imperfect plan, executed with intense focus, is exponentially more effective than a perfect plan that never starts because you're still deciding between options. Think of it like fitness. The perfect workout plan isn't the one designed by an Olympic trainer that you look at once and feel overwhelmed by. It's the simple 30-minute walk or gym routine that you actually do consistently, day after day. In personal finance and growth, your precious energy gets consumed by deliberation, thinking about the problem, instead of application, working on the solution. If your current major focus is wiping out debt, the best strategy isn't the one that mathematically saves you exactly $1.37 more in interest over 15 years, while you argue with yourself about implementation. No, the best strategy is the one you choose, whether it's snowball or avalanche or something else, and then you commit to it. You put your head down, you cut expenses where needed, you maybe earn a little extra, and you throw every single extra dollar at that debt with laser focus until it's gone. Period. You don't need to keep researching every other payoff method invented since the dawn of finance. Similarly, if your focus is generating more income, the best side hustle isn't the one with the highest theoretical earning potential based on some online guru's projection. It's the one you pick, the one you commit to putting consistent, focused energy into building. You learn the skills, you market yourself, you refine your process, you put in the hours. You stop researching 20 other side hustles and focus on making this one work. Focus cuts through the overwhelming noise of endless options. It forces you to pick a direction and move. And guess what movement creates? Momentum. You learn by doing, by encountering real-world challenges and finding solutions, not by endlessly analyzing hypotheticals. By committing to one primary focus for a defined period, maybe 90 days, maybe 6 months, maybe until a specific goal is reached, you free up the immense mental energy currently tied up in indecision and redirect it entirely into taking action. This is where progress doesn't just happen, it accelerates dramatically. You don't need to know the absolute optimal path to financial success or personal growth from day one. You just need to pick a high-impact path that resonates with you and commit your full energy to it. Action clarifies the path forward. Thinking in circles paralyzes you exactly where you are. Ask yourself, right now, what one financial or growth area feels most overwhelming due to the sheer volume of options and information available. Identify that area. Then, try this for the next 30 days. Pick one strategy, one method, one approach within that area. Not necessarily the perfect one, just a solid, well-regarded one. Commit to it fully and consciously block out the noise of other options. Stop researching alternatives. Just execute the plan you chose with relentless focus. See what kind of momentum you can build when you stop thinking and start doing. This one habit of committing to focused action over endless analysis can change everything. All right, so we've talked about the absolute power of choosing your financial focus, deciding that debt payoff is the mountain you're climbing, or building that emergency fund is the fortress you're erecting, or boosting income is the rocket you're fueling. You've aimed that laser. Now comes the real test, doesn't it? Keeping that beam steady on target when life starts doing its best impersonation of a chaotic toddler with a bag of glitter and a sugar rush. Maintaining your financial laser isn't about being perfect, it's about being persistent. This is where people often trip up. They nail the decision to focus, feel super motivated for a week, then bam, an unexpected car repair hits. A shiny new opportunity pops up on their social feed that looks way more exciting than budgeting. Or maybe just a wave of self-doubt washes over them thinking, is this even working? The initial discipline isn't the problem. It's the grind of consistency that separates those who hit their goals from those who drift aimlessly. Staying focused requires structure and discipline, yes, but here's the surprising part. It doesn't demand Hercules strength every single day. That's a myth that paralyzes so many. You don't need to wrestle a financial lion before breakfast. You just need to build small, resilient fences around your focus. Think of it like tending a garden, not fighting a war. You don't need to perform miracles daily, but you do need consistent watering and weeding. If your focus is debt, maybe your daily habit is simply checking the balance and calculating how much closer you are with your last extra payment. If it's saving, it's the automated transfer that happens without you even thinking about it. If it's income growth, it's blocking out just 30 minutes each day to work on that specific skill or side hustle. No exceptions. These aren't grand gestures. They're small, consistent actions that constantly nudge your energy and resources back towards your primary goal. And you must see the wins. This is non-negotiable for maintaining that laser focus. Regularly review your progress, specifically on your focus. Did you pay an extra $50 on that debt? Heck yeah! That balance is dropping. Did that automated transfer land? Look at that savings account growing. People vastly underestimate the psychological power of seeing tangible results, no matter how small. It's like seeing the finish line get closer. It fuels your momentum and makes resisting those distractions, like impulse purchases or abandoning your side hustle for Netflix, infinitely easier. Celebrate those wins, even if it's just a mental high five. Now, let's talk about the inevitable. You will have setbacks. You'll overspend on that impulse purchase. You'll miss a planned work session on your side hustle because life got in the way. And you know what? That is perfectly, absolutely okay. It's not a failure. It's just a stumble. The critical insight here, the one that changed everything for me, is this: don't let a single stumble on a side path make you abandon the main road. Acknowledge the setback, learn from it if you can, course correct immediately, and pivot straight back to directing your energy towards your primary goal. The power isn't in never deviating. It's in how quickly you return your attention and resources to that single point of impact. Consistency applied to one major goal is far more impactful than perfect execution scattered across a dozen minor ones. Your job in maintaining your financial laser isn't about being rigid and never making a mistake. It's about being relentlessly persistent in returning your focus to your chosen priority, building resilience with every course correction. Try this for a week. Identify your one main financial focus right now. What is it? Debt? Savings? Income? Now, choose one small, consistent action you can take daily or weekly that directly reinforces that focus. Is it tracking your debt payoff progress every night? Is it reviewing your automated savings every Sunday? Is it dedicating just 15 minutes a day to a growth activity? Just one small thing. Do that consistently for a week and see how just returning your attention to that single point of impact feels. Okay, let's dive into Section 12, expanding the core principle of focused financial power under the Earn Flow Zone branding. Here is the script for Section 12. Welcome back to the Earn Flow Zone. We've talked a lot about building, managing, and accelerating your money journey. But there's one principle, one fundamental truth that underpins all real financial power. It comes from intentional focus, not scattered, fragmented effort. Think about it like this. You can be a financial floodlight, casting a wide, diffused light across many areas with little noticeable impact on any single one. Or you can be a financial laser, concentrating your energy, your time, your resources to cut through obstacles and build assets rapidly. This isn't just theory, it's a lived reality, whether you're just scraping by, growing your income steadily, or actively building significant wealth. The area you point that laser might change depending on your stage. Maybe it's eliminating high-interest debt first, or aggressively saving an emergency fund, or hyper-focusing on scaling one income stream, or rapidly accumulating shares in a specific investment. But the principle of concentrated power remains absolutely the same. Ignore this lesson, and I guarantee you'll continue to feel perpetually busy, often overwhelmed, and frustratingly stuck. You'll make tiny, marginal progress in multiple financial areas simultaneously. Celebrate few truly significant wins that shift the needle, and remain vulnerable to shiny objects, distractions, and analysis paralysis. You'll keep spinning your wheels, exhausting yourself with activity, and genuinely wonder why others seem to be moving forward. Hitting milestones and gaining traction while you feel like you're on a treadmill, burning calories but staying put. Your incredible potential remains untapped, diffused across too many low-impact activities. It's kind of like trying to dig 10 shallow holes at once instead of one deep well. Lots of shoveling, not much water. The path forward, the path to accelerating your financial progress and finally gaining a powerful sense of control, is surprisingly simple, though not always easy. It is choosing your single most important focus right now. This demands ruthless honesty about where your resources, your money, your time, your mental bandwidth are currently being scattered, and the courage to deliberately redirect them. It requires saying no, a firm, polite, sometimes uncomfortable no, to good things, even potentially profitable things, so you can pour everything into saying a resounding yes to the most important thing for you right now. You see, recognizing that completing just one major financial objective provides the critical momentum, frees up cash flow, and builds the undeniable confidence needed to powerfully tackle the next goal is the key. It allows you to build a powerful, sequential chain of financial wins. Your financial future isn't built on uncovering complex secrets or mastering 100 different strategies at once. It's built on the simple, elegant, and powerful decision to direct your energy intentionally towards one critical objective until it's conquered. It is time to stop trying to do everything imperfectly and start achieving one thing powerfully and completely. Your current situation is not a permanent reality. It's just the result of your current pattern of energy allocation. Your entire trajectory changes the moment you choose to focus that energy. The question, then, isn't whether you can do it, but whether you are truly ready to wield that power. Are you ready to trade the deceptive comfort of scattered effort, which feels like progress but isn't, for the undeniable power of concentrated action? Are you ready to become a financial laser?